Alright, team, so we are back to talk about some remake, and it is finally here. We are mere hours away, for me anyway, for the game to finally be in our hands to be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. Obviously, some places around the world, like time zones are different, so people are already being able to play their digital versions. But right here on the cusp of the remake, we ran into a big problem for the digital buyers. Yes, the digital buyers are getting screwed again in the Asian countries. But of course, before we hop into it, a couple of smaller bits. It's not all bad news just for the digital people. There is apparently a long install time for the physical disc, which isn't really a surprise. It's a big game. It's 80, 90 gigabytes. So it's not really a surprise it's going to take a while to download your PlayStation 4. It says it's about an hour on this GameSpot article. I don't know how normal that is. I only own 2 physical games, Bloodborne and The Last of Us Remastered, and I don't remember how long those took, but still, it'll be about an hour. The article points out, like, you're not going to be able to hop right into, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's pretty obvious. We're far past the days of being able to just pop a disc in your console and play right away. But also part of the reason why I wanted to cover this is there's not a whole lot of games out there that have 2 discs in their game case. I believe Red Dead Redemption 2 is the only other one, at least that I'm aware of. And you're going to have to install both discs. There's a data disc and a play disc. And once you install the data disc, you can only play the first chapter, which is pretty much the bombing mission. And then you're going to have to install the second disc. Also, I wasn't even planning on putting this in the video, but since we're talking about installing the game, does anybody know anything about a day 1 patch? I've yet to hear anything about that. Seems like people are able to just preload the game and hop right in. On to the next small bit of info, we have another cross-promotion with Final Fantasy VII Remake, and this time it's with Mountain Dew. So last time it was Butterfinger. I know there's like some soup stuff or something that I never covered. And now we have one with Mountain Dew Game Fuel. We don't know a whole lot about the competition yet. Like last time with the Butterfingers, you had to buy like so many candy bars to earn in-game items. But we do know a handful of things. Starting on April 13th, folks will be able to hop over to the official landing page for this competition and enter drawings to win prizes. Winners will be drawn every 7 minutes from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. PT. The prizes all seem relevant to gaming, including Final Fantasy VII Remake merchandise, download codes for the game itself, HyperX Cloud gaming PS4 headsets, 32-inch 4K BenQ monitors, and even Elgato HD60S Plus capture cards. The Siliconaire article ends with the official website isn't live with all the details yet, but it seems like you don't actually need to go out and consume any game fuel in order to participate. So unlike the Butterfinger promotion, it seems like you might not have to actually go out and buy cans of game fuel in order to participate in this giveaway, but we don't exactly know the details yet. But when we have those, of course, I will let you guys know. Anyways, on to the main part of the video. So what exactly is happening with PlayStation Asia? Well, people are buying the game on the PlayStation Network, but instead of getting the English-Japanese version of the remake, they're getting the Chinese-Korean version. And apparently there's no way to change it. Like, you can switch the dialogue to English or, I suppose, Japanese, and the characters will talk in that language. You'll hear Clouds and everybody talking in English, but your menus are still stuck on Chinese and Korean. It's a pretty weird mess up, man. I'm not saying it's never happened before, but this is the first time I've ever heard of something like this. Can you imagine buying a game digitally, or I guess even physically, and you, like, go to play the game and it's in a language that you don't even understand? I'd honestly be pretty pissed, man, especially since they're finally able to play the game. It's April 10th over on that side of the world, and the people who bought it digitally on the PlayStation Network literally can't, unless you can read Chinese or Korean. I believe we don't have a definitive answer on exactly what causes this, but it seems like if you pre-order the game on PSN in those regions, it was defaulted to Chinese-Korean, and for whatever reason you can't change it. And some people are saying that if you go to buy the game now, you can choose the correct languages, but before with the pre-order, you just couldn't. And actually looking into this Reddit post a little bit more, it seems like there was an English-Japanese version and a Chinese-Korean version, but the way people were buying the wrong version was either the front page link, which I'm guessing is like when you first pull up the PlayStation Store, there'd be like an ad or something, whatever you want to call it, for the remake, or the in-game link, which I believe is at the end of the demo, where it'd like link you to the PlayStation Store and you could like pre-order the game. But also part of the reason why I wanted to cover this is we don't actually know if this is something that's only going to affect PlayStation Asia. We might fire up the game here in the West once it launches and it's in a Russian or something. I don't know what languages it actually supports, but it might not be in English. The only way that I'm aware of to check and see if you got a non-English version of the game is to check your email receipt. This guy commented on the Reddit post and said that he checked his was in Chinese-Korean, checked his email receipt from buying on PSN, and the email itself was also in Chinese-Korean. As of right now, that's the only way that I'm aware of on how to check if you got like a non-English version or a version that's not in a language that you know. It just sucks, man. It sucks to see. This has been such a like weird and rocky launch. I know, a lot of it is out of Square Enix's hands, but it still sucks, man. You have people that have been waiting years to play this game, starts releasing early in all these other countries and stuff around the world. People are playing the game early, spoiling the game, putting a bunch of shit online. And then now once the game actually officially rolls out in the Australian, Asian regions, people can't even play it. It's just like, what the hell, dude? And PlayStation Asia is aware of the issue, but it's been several hours since this all kind of went down, and I don't believe there's been a resolution yet. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys, to be honest. I don't know, man. Like I said earlier, it kind of sucks. It's been a rocky launch. Not the worst launch I've ever seen, Fallout 76, but it's still not what I was expecting from this game. I thought they'd handle it pretty well, and it's been not so good. Anyways, my dudes, that's pretty much the video. Also, by the way, we are almost at 13,000 subscribers. I was hoping we'd hit it before the launch of the game, and I guess that is still possible. We're not too far off. So if you guys want to help me reach that goal, I'd very much appreciate the sub. Also, I want to throw this kind of quick channel update here at the end as well. I don't exactly know if we're going to be making videos for the next couple of days, because I'm obviously going to be playing the game. I don't plan on, running through it just to make content for the game or review it or whatever the case, but I might be busy, trying to make other videos like tips and secrets and all that other stuff. I don't know. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys aren't able to update more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @dashingdavid, at my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me a smile, give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while. Quit acting like a baby, or at least less like a child. Give me serenity, or at least just peace.